Hey guys, how you guys doing today? Good? You guys having a good Baldor Bite? Come on, you guys have had access to an open bar all day long. How you guys doing today? Getting some good energy in the room. Despite what I'm going to tell all my friends later, I know you guys are not here to see me, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I am honored and pleased to introduce our keynote speaker for Baldor Bite 2022 this year, Chef Massimo Bottura, an innovator and oh yeah, please clap, please clap. An innovator and restaurateur for more than 25 years, Chef Massimo Bottura has consolidated his reputation as one of the world's most innovative culinary figures. His internationally renowned 3 Michelin star restaurant, Osteria Francescana, opened in 1995 and was voted #1 in the world's 50 best restaurants in 2016 and for the second time in 2018. Chef Bottura is acknowledged, among other things, for his commitment against food waste and social isolation, calling for social responsibility among the culinary community since his participation in Expo 2015 in Milan. During Expo, Chef created an off-site project called Refettorio Ambrosiano in order to tackle the problems of hunger and food waste as 2 sides of the same coin. Since the birth of his project, more than 60 chefs from around the world joined Chef Bottura and his community kitchen to transform food surplus into healthy meals for those in need. As a result of the success of the project, in 2016, Chef Bottura founded the nonprofit organization Food for Soul, together with his wife, Laura Gilmore. Since then, Food for Soul has established refectorial projects around the world, and it is my honor and great pleasure to introduce to you guys today our moderator for today's keynote address, food sustainability icon, Thomas McQuillan, and the man of the hour, Chef Massimo Bottura.
This is exciting. I have literally thought about this hour the last 7 months nonstop. I have been thinking about being with you and having this conversation, and I'm so grateful all of you have joined us for this, this time together. Just one point of reference, Massimo just pointed out not just 3 Michelin, but a 4th red star, 4th.
The Michelin guide that for us is the Bible. For all the chefs in the world is the Bible. They gave me the incredible honor to have 3 red, and plus they had 1 green for sustainability. So I have 4 stars.
All right, before we get started, I would like anyone in the room that had anything to do with putting Baldor Bite together to stand up, because this is unbelievable. So please stand up and get a round of applause. Anyone that put this event together, please. You guys are amazing. This is so great. And I'd also like to take a moment, Massimo and I are going to dedicate this hour to all the chefs in the room. All the chefs in the room who've given countless hours of themselves to dazzle us with their brilliant food. If you're a chef, or if you've ever cooked in a restaurant, please stand up and get recognized. Chefs, please. Allora, iniziamo.
It's very emotional. It's really emotional.
Before we came on stage, Massimo got very emotional, and somebody said, I think he needs water. I said, no, he's just crying. He's very emotional to be with all of you. So here we are. Massimo, to start, I'm so curious about your chef journey. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey to become a chef? How is this part of who you are?
This is started a long time ago. I had a very lucky. I was very lucky growing up in a very large family in which food was, and the kitchen was the center of our family.
Sorry, I'm having a problem with my lavalier.
Yeah, I know what happened with those microphones. So that's why I have a gelato. I asked for this, And to me, growing up in a family like this, where my grandmother was cooking because she had to cook, and she was a mediocre cook.
Yeah.
And my mom, she was cooking because she loved to cook, and she was an amazing cook. And And I was always under the table of the kitchen because I was the younger of all the very large family, and lots of energy, troublemaker, and my safety place was the kitchen. And I was under the table all the time, you know, and my mom and my grandmother, they were defending me from the older brother with the mattarello, no? Instead of rolling pasta, they were like, get out, you know, leave him alone. And, you know, it's normal, no, that, you know, you spend the month of August on the mountains with my grandmother. On the other side of the street, there's a small cheese company who make Parmigiano Reggiano with all the cows. They're like free, and you get the milk from the morning, the cream from the milk, and you make tortellini and panna, you know, every day, fresh made. You know, it's like when you have the palate that is like this, and you have this kind of perception, starts to synchronize, like to try to focus on many different things. But you know, the ingredients, the quality of the ingredients were the key point of our cooking home. You know, even if you have, you know, my father coming back from the country with the trunk full of melon, watermelon, or pumpkin, or salami, and ham and sausages. You know, the 8th of December, we were killing the pork in the country, and my grandmother was keep saying, you know, remember that this is a spiritual action. Your animal that you usually add a pork add a name. We gave a name to the animal in the family, in the factory, and you know, the animal is giving his life to feed the family for the whole year. So you have to be respectful and use every single bone of the animal. That's why with the skin we create cotechino, no? Using the skin of the pork, there's a lot of gelatin, you know, and we make the cotechino. Then with the outside, we fry them, and we make ciccioli frolli, that with, you know, fried and press and dry them, and then you eat like crackling, you know, like. And this is something that I grew up with, and that's how I became a chef. At one point, the difference is that when you are a chef, it's not just about the quality of the ingredients, but the quality of the ideas that make the difference.
Yeah. So somebody asked me earlier, will Massimo get through all your questions? And I'm like, I don't think so, but you know, we'll just let him go, right? Can you tell us, you know, you're so affected by art and music and everything around you. Your father-in-law had an expression, be like a tree, grow slowly. And I know that's something Laura Gilmore, your wife, talks about. You know, can you tell us a little bit about what that means to you, sort of like that notion of growing slowly and being deliberate?
It's something that I keep sharing with all my team, you know. My team is now in Modena. Just in Modena, we are 150 people. Before pandemic, we were 105 people. Everybody talks about the crisis of people in the room, service, chefs. We keep growing. We keep having, you know, CV that we receive. It's because I treat my team as my family. That's why they want to stay close to me. Yeah. And this is a part of this. And one part that is extremely important is stimulate every single one how to think in a different way, completely from under the table, like a kid, you know. When you are under the table, you see the world from another perspective, and you see things in a totally different direction. We just came out with a new tasting menu in Osteria Francescana called Come to Italy with Me, in which we start with a baba as a namous bush in the beginning, and we finish with, you know, the friandises with fegato alla veneziana or pasta alla carbonara or a salad in a chocolate, and oops, I forgot to serve a caprese as a dessert, as a final dessert. So people, they get like, imagine, no? You know, imagine the Italian, they come to eat with us, and we serve spaghetti that is just became a plate of the year. A spaghetti that is, okay, I'm standing up because I can't stand, like, I'm a chef, you know. I prefer to stay here. You know, I'm trying to describe the craziness in our mind, you know. So I said, come to eat with me is a perfect moment now. And, you know, we have to break all the borders, all the ideas, as the artist does. So we got some beautiful pepper that usually in Piemonte, northwest of Italy, we use to grill them and make a classic preparation. And what we do, we extract the water from the grilled red pepper. Then coming down, you get in Modena, that is a center where I'm from, and it's very known for wild cherries. And so what we do, we extract the water from the wild cherries, and we mix the water of the grilled pepper with wild cherries, so we add some acidity, you know, to the bitterness of the pepper. At this point, you go down and you arrive in Gragnano and you get a spaghetti, no? And what do? Keeping going down on the magic bus, you found the almond from Noto, Sicily. And even southern of Sicily, you go in Pantelleria, where you find the most beautiful capers in the world. They're lightly salted by the wind of the Isle of Pantelleria. And what are you gonna do? We make spaghetti, we create a spaghetti, immagine a somiglianza, what it is and what it looks like. A red spaghetti, an icon of the worldwide renowned cuisine that is like spaghetti on tomato, no? Al pomodoro. But what we do, we cook the spaghetti with the water of tomato, of wild cherries and pepper as a risotto. So the spaghetti start absorbing this kind of flavor. Then we add a little touch of fresh herbs as classic, no? And at the end, from the almond, from Noto, we extract the juice, the milk, no? And we finish the plate with the milk of the almond of Noto. Then we dehydrate the capers, we powder it, and we put the powder on top of that, and we serve as a dessert. So this is a journey around Italy, and we serve spaghetti in a totally different perspective, because we bring the spaghetti into another perception. So we open the door of the unexpected for you when you sit at the table at Osteria Francescana. That's what we do every day in our kitchen.
I don't know if I should stand with you or stay seated, but I have to tell you, does he not have wonderful emotion, really? We had a dinner together our first time we met, and we were at Graffiti Earth, and the table was about this wide, and his wife invited me to dinner, and my wife, and his knees and mine hit for like 3 hours straight. I didn't wash for like 6 months. But the first thing... I've never been 3 hours straight close, sitting at the table. Never been in my life. So when we started talking, he said to me, when Pope Francis called me, and then I've told that story many times. After that, I'm like, what am I going to talk to him about? You're so full of emotion. We'll get to the refettorio, we'll get to food for soul. The emotion that you exude.
But I don't remember, sorry. I start talking about the new menu, but your question was different before, right?
It's okay. We'll get back to it. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Because I got that like... No, but
let's go there.
I'm concentrate in few words what art is for me. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you ask me what you do every day in your kitchen, I say, I compress my passion, art, music, etc., into edible bites, okay, and a gastronomic experience.
Fantastic.
Sitting on Century of History, because my food, even if it's completely abstract, is deeply Italian, but filtered by a contemporary mind. So if I would cook like my grandmother, I would be so nostalgic, and my food, would be good, but but if I look at the past in a critic way and not in a nostalgic one, I can get the best from the past into the future. Example, I still remember one of the things that when my grandmother was bringing the big pan of the lasagna every Sunday for lunch, we as kids, we were stealing the crunchy part from the top of the lasagna. That's
course.
the best part.
Of course.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want the big pan of the lasagna. That's for the adults. But if you want to transfer emotion, you have to think about in a totally different direction.
Yeah.
And you have to think about to touch the chord of the youthness, the memories, what you remember about things. When I think about my balsamic vinegar and I think about my grandmother, she was the only one who had the key to go upstairs and get some balsamic vinegar from the upstairs, because we weren't allowed to go there. So sometimes we were stealing the key from my grandmother's pocket, and we were going upstairs, especially during me and my sister, during like some snowstorm or something like that, and we were getting like the reduce of the must mixed with the snow, mixing and eat granatina, like on winter time. So these are memories that they're gonna stay with you forever.
So staying in that theme, because you're all about emotion, how do you transfer that emotion to the clients that come to Osteria Francescana, for example? How do you transfer that feeling so when they have that experience? Because we know you do that so well.
I don't know. I'm like, first of all, I think there are 4 words that are very important. Culture, knowledge, consciousness, sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
We know that we have 234,000 males in waiting list to eat at Osteria Francescana. Okay? So this is insane. But why? Because people come to our place to see the world in a totally different direction. But I'm talking about artists, musician, designer, the prima ballerina of the Chicago Opera House. She was eating at Osteria 1 month ago. And at one point, she stopped eating. And she asked for me. So I left the kitchen. I went to the floor. And she said, this is not food. This is an experience that is completely different. This is emotional. And it's like, to me, the experience is like the day before the prima at the opera house. I'm by myself in a dark room, and I think with my mind all the steps of the day after. This is exactly what I'm
Thinking about.
What I'm trying and what I'm experiencing now. And when you serve the last dish, you touch my memories when my grandmother was cooking for me that dish, and I couldn't eat anymore. And she started crying, and she couldn't stop because of the emotion. So that's what we want. Our final purpose is to feed people with emotions. This is what really makes the difference in an experience from people that come from all over the world.
And can you talk a little bit, you saw how many chefs came to see you. I mean, look at all these people that love Massimo Bottura. I mean, it's really extraordinary. How do we inspire them? Look at these beautiful chefs sitting here. How do we inspire them to be the best version of their chef self? How do we inspire that? They got to be true to themselves, no?
We have to, as I train all my chefs every day, not to get lost into their everyday life. I know it's different to say. It's very difficult to, no, it's very easy to say, but it's very difficult to do it because your everyday life is like you walk into the kitchen and you get lost into the kitchen. And this is the worst thing. It's becoming a nightmare. But if you walk into the kitchen and because you decide to walk into the kitchen, you choose to walk into the kitchen, you have to make the difference. You have to live your life as a dream, you know. Bob Dylan was always saying, what is the secret of success? The secret of success? Waking up in the morning, going to bed in the night, and in the meantime, I do what I've chosen to do. So you have chosen to be a chef, and what you have to do, you have to put all your energy, all your love on what you do. If you keep doing just chopping carrots, saute and serve, is the most alienated work that you can do. But if you walk there and you keep a space open for poetry, you can jump and imagine to serve in the best restaurant in the world a broken lemon tart. That's what it is.
So it all matters. It's the art, it's the music, it's all of it. It's all of it. It all comes together. Anybody been to Dubai? Torno Subito? Anybody seen the restaurant Torno Subito? Nobody.
In
Dubai. I want to talk about Torno Subito because when I saw the images, I haven't been myself. It reminds
Torno
me.
Subito means I'll be back soon.
That,
Who wants to go to Dubai? Me, not me.
I kind of want to go to Torno Subito.
It's fake, you know, it's all built and they tell you, you have to do this, you have to do that, and the restaurant has to be gold and this and that. I said, fuck you, I'm not coming. I'm not doing that.
But we have a restaurant to fill in Dubai.
I know, but
Dubai
it's not my
tourism,
problem.
we apologize.
If they want me, they have to do whatever
That's
I want.
Not an
you know.
official statement. When we look at Torno Subito, though, you look at those images, you feel like you're at the beach in Italy.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Really?
I did.
Like a kid. I feel like a kid.
I said, listen, of course, why you open a restaurant in Dubai? Because they pay you tons of money, of course, yeah. So they convinced me like that, you know, otherwise I would never do it. But at this point, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do whatever I want because it's not about money. It's never been about money for me. You know, we are like, you know, Osteria Francescana, we serve 28 guests, 30 guests every lunch and every dinner, and we are 65 people working there.
Can you imagine?
So plus that 2 each for each guest. So it's not about money.
No.
Okay? It's about dream. So at this point, what do you do? Torno Subito. Torno Subito is a piece of art. Torno Subito is the first first art show that Maurizio Cattelan, one of my favorite contemporary artists, did. You know, instead of open a gallery with a new show, with this show, he left the gallery closed with a little sign, I'll be back soon. You know, like when the Italian, they have to have the espresso in the middle of the morning and in the middle of the afternoon. They turn the little sign, I'll be back soon, I have to have my espresso, okay? So I said, okay, so I'm gonna do these things as an art project. And I asked myself, what was the moment in which I was more happy than in my life? The moment was when I was on the seaside, Rimini, Riccione, with my mom, my sister, and we were playing and having fun every day. So I said, that's it. I want to do Fellini. I want to do La Dolce Vita. I want to do things that are, you know, full of color, of life. They look at me. Without my signing, they turn upside down the whole project, switching red, blue, yellow, green, with gold, bronze, silver. I said, what the fuck is this? This is not my Torno Subito.
No.
This is not Rimini. I'm quitting. So it took 2 years to convince me. At that point, they let me do whatever I want. And we recreate this atmosphere on the beach that is like having fun, and now he's super successful. And you don't know, but we're gonna open Torno Subito in Miami.
Whoa, there's some news. We were not supposed to talk about that today either, so that stays here.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody.
No, because I didn't communicate to anyone. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Food for Soul. Anybody heard of Food for Soul? Oh, you're going to learn a lot about Food for Soul. So Massimo, not only...
just few people.
How many have heard about Food for Soul, please? Okay, but we have work to do. So Food for Soul, you're going to learn a little bit about from Massimo, but I want you to know that right here in the city of New York, we have an organization that cares to create sustainable food for people who are food insecure within our community in such a way that utilizes 100% of that food. And that's how Massimo and I originally got aligned. So can you tell us a little bit about Food for Soul and the goal here right in Harlem on 119th Street, opening shortly?
Yeah. So Food for Soul was born after the Milan Expo. So before the Expo in 2014, in which the theme was Feed the Planet, Energy for Life, all the government, they were coming to Modena to have me in Milan and do all these parties. But no one really asked me what I was thinking about Feed the Planet. So the number that I checked with the organization, worldwide organization, well, they were like incredible. We are 7 billion people on the planet, and we produce food for 12 billion people. 860 million people, they don't have anything to eat. And we waste 33% of what we produce. So we use water, electricity, human capital, stress the earth to produce food that at the end we burn it and we become the first cause of climate change. So it's so easy to answer to this question. So let's fight food waste. But no one did. So I started thinking what I can do. And I said, okay, we're gonna set up an example, how we do it. We're gonna put together all the most influential chefs in the world, and for the 6 months of Expo, we're gonna cook the inevitable food waste of the Universal Exposition. And we're gonna show the world, or to everybody who wants to learn, how we can reduce to zero the waste on the planet. Imagine that Osteria Francescana 2 weeks ago was declared waste 5% in what we have. We certified that our waste is 5%. It's unbelievable. We don't have waste in Osteria because we act in a very ethical way. So what we did, I knocked at the door because no one was listening to me because the idea was too crazy. I said, I want to do my own pavilion at the Universal Exposition. But everybody said, no, it's impossible. You know, you have to invest too much money. So I knocked at the door of the Archbishop in Milan that connect me with Pope Francis. And they said, the idea is amazing. We're going to give you the space. But Pope Francis said, because in my mind, I was thinking to do it under the train station in Milan to rebuild, Miracle in Milan. It's a movie from 1950 from Il Verismo Italiano, no? Very famous. And but the Pope Francis said, no, Massimo, you have to bring the light into the periphery because the periphery are always dark. So if we bring light there, everything is gonna shine. He was right. So we went to the most neglected neighborhood in Milan. We rescued an old theater from 1920, and we rebuilt with the help of architect, designer, and artist to bring beauty in that place. Because with beauty, as Camus was saying, you don't do a revolution. But one day, the revolution will need beauty to rebuild. rebuilt also the dignity of the people. Because beauty is not just for rich people, it's for everybody. If you don't share it, you don't go anywhere. So that's why I said, okay, let's do that. We rebuilt, and now is an iconic place in Milan. And all around Milan is like all around Quartiere Greco, the most neglected places where there was just drug addict, migrants, was insane before. Now it's like beautiful. And the place brought this kind of super, energetic, good vibe in the quartiere. And thank you. And but the things that we start cooking in a totally different way. Is that because we switch the idea of a soup kitchen into a real restaurant. And so all the volunteers in Milan, they arrive, they start dividing. We start dividing in two parts, kitchen and service. And instead of doing the classic service of as a soup kitchen, we were serving appetizer, pasta course, main course, all plated. Because, our chef volunteers, they were like, Daniel Ham, René Redzepi, Dave Chang, Alain Ducasse, Yannick Aleno, all the most influential chefs in the world, and they all said, yes, of course we're coming. They were coming, unloading the tract at 9 in the morning, put in the kitchen whatever we had. We were preparing the meal on lunchtime for the kids of the school to teach them how not you waste, how you do or how you act not to waste food. And in the evening, especially in that period, there were a lot of migrants from Africa. So, and after that, I thought, after 6 months of beautiful experience, I thought everything was over. But one night, like at 5 in the morning, I receive a text from, and I forgot the phone on, and and I said, ding, 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 the phone. Lara, I watched the phone. I took a look at the phone, and Lara, she was sleeping close to me, and she said, "Who was that texting you 5 in the morning?" I said, "The mayor of Rio de Janeiro." And she said, "What does he want, the mayor of Rio de Janeiro, from you?" "He wants to build a refectorio in Rio de Janeiro during the Olympics." "And what did you answer?" "Why not?" Leave always the door open for the unexpected. Because when you walk into that door, you can see amazing things. It's all about the poetry you have in your eyes.
Let's talk about the refettorio. First of all, what is a refettorio? What is it?
Refettorio comes from the word reficere, means to restore. Restore the soul of the people. They give, they travel, they're like, we take care of you. Rebuild, like, reappropriate of the word benvenuto, welcome, come in. We like the service, the power of hospitality.
It's a beautiful word.
It's a beautiful word.
I'm going to ask you a question that I didn't prep you on, but so you're building out the refettorio in São Paulo. You're on Rio. Oh, sorry, in Rio. You're on a flight.
Rio was...
You land.
Yeah.
You have prosciutto, magari
no, guanciale.
Guanciale. And they took it from you.
Yeah, no, listen.
Can you give us that story?
Yeah, the story is incredible. Now, first of all, imagine from a 3 Michelin star to the suburbs of Rio de Janeiro into the favelas. It's like you jump in a crazy world, and so I was like spending my time complaining every day. So the volunteers, they were like kind of stressed. And so I said to my daughter that she was like with me, I said, let's take a walk on the beach. We took a walk on the beach. We saw a tattoo place. And one of the the most important art. You see, art is always there. One of the most important art piece in the refectory in Milano is a neon on 22 meters on the outside of this beautiful theater that says, "No more excuses." So what I did, I walk into the tattoo place and I tattoo myself, "No more excuses here." To remember, stop complaining with the volunteer, teach them. So I walk into the place, the refectorio, back to the refectorio in Brazil, and I start, teaching them how to make a sorbet with all the bananas that we had at that time. And they were like, Brazil is a crazy place, they love sugar, everything with sugar, everything fried. And I teach them to make a sorbet with those kind of amazing fruit they have with 0% of sugar, because they were using 50% of sugar. Imagine, you couldn't even taste the banana anymore. But we had a lot of, in that time, a lot of banana peels on the side that I've learned the year before in Milan how to transform into a chutney, okay, from the Mexican chef. So the day of the opening, we were invited at the Museum of Tomorrow of Calatrava. We went there and I left the refectorio. When I went back, the volunteers, they use all the guanciale that I brought with me from Italy to make a carbonara at the opening. But we had 200 people at the opening in the evening, so I said, what I'm gonna do now, because, they use all the guanciale. They left just a small piece of guanciale like this without, because, how can I do? I start, so I said, okay, no more excuses, no more excuses, no more excuses. I did like Winnie the Pooh. Think, 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 think. And I found the solution. So what I did, I got all these, I went into the kitchen with two of my, the two most, into the kitchen, we start blanching all the banana peels in water and salt. Once we blanched them, we open them and we put in the oven and we dry them. We toast it. Then out. Then we put the guanciale, the small piece we left, into the freezer. Then we start slicing the guanciale very thin and we put it on top of the banana peels. We re-put in the oven and the guanciale was melting on top of the banana peels. And the banana peels absorb the flavor of the guanciale. At that point, we organize a homemade smoker on the street in Rio de Janeiro. And we start smoking all these banana peels in the street. Then, without saying anything to anyone, we brought the banana peels into the kitchen. And we start cutting with cubes, small cubes. And we serve carbonara for 200 people. Even the Prime Minister of Italy, the director of the Olympics, the governor of Brazil, the Prime Minister of Brazil, the governor, they were eating all as our guests from the street. Carbonara with banana peels transformed into guanciale. No one person realized that was banana peel and not guanciale. The day after, the day after, I communicate that in a press conference. And I received a phone call from my prime minister saying, if you want to play with me and you play a joke with all us Italian, I said, Mr. Renzi, if I didn't do that, I didn't know what to do. There was nothing, just eggs, a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano crust, and some bananas. So I had to do something with that. And we did it. So no more excuses. It's all about that. It's a vision, intuition.
I love that. We talked a little bit about this. Baldor is zero organics to landfill. I'm not going to judge you on your 5% at Osteria Francescana, va bene?
Okay.
Baldor's zero. Baldor's been zero. No. Siamo zero. Zero
let
zero.
me come and do an inspection.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
telling you, zero.
Okay.
Let me do an inspection.
Baldor has a motto that says, quality you can trust, service that delivers. The folks you see in this room, this company, every day this team wakes up to dazzle and razzle all of you. And we do it with tons of energy. We've had a really tough few years. You're having a tough time now getting staff and getting people to be part of your organization. I'd like Massimo to talk a little bit about how he gets people excited to be part of his company. How can you help these chefs attract new talent to come into the field and be part of what they're trying to accomplish?
To do what?
No, because they're having a hard time. It's a hard time in the food industry now to hire people, to bring them in, to work.
Ever.
So what can they do? I mean, I've seen you post, you put your employees front and center, you talk about them and their contributions.
This is something that I did it. Thank you. This is something that I did it in the last 3 months, because now we have a lot of, we have 4 Osteria Gucci, one in Los Angeles, one in Tokyo, one in Seoul, and one in Florence. We have Torno Subito, 4 restaurant in Modena, a very successful company. But we all talk about the chef. Jessica is here with us. She's just been named Chef of the Year in Italy, and she's Canadian, and she's a female and Canadian, so it's like the most revolutionary prize ever, in Italy. Name, Chef of the Year. Whoa! And then what we did, we do our we have Karime, first Mexican chef name that she could get 1 Michelin star in Osteria Gucci in Florence. And those are Alan and another Canadian guy that I met during our visit in Canada, and Matteo are the new chef in Francescana. We have Francesco that start working in Osteria Francescana as a waiter, and now is the chef of Franceschetta. But we all know about that. But the underdog, all those that they're doing, the dirtiest things in the kitchen or in the room, no one talks about those people. And so I started doing the theme series on my Instagram stories. And it's 2 months. I didn't realize how many there were. Hundreds and hundreds of young, passionate, incredible, nice guys and girls. And, they're keep sending me messages. And how proud they are, to be part of our family, because we treat everyone as family. And this is a way to keep the team together.
Yeah.
And when you need, for example, Taka in Florence, because Karime just delivered Hannah, his baby girl, and so I moved Taka close to Karime and give the opportunity to rejoin the family and work in Osteria Gucci in Florence. As Barbara, when she had to go back to Los Angeles, and I immediately found a space for her in a service room in Osteria Gucci in Beverly Hills. So it's the way you keep them together. And the chef, you show them, stimulating them culturally. This is the most important thing. That's why I keep saying culture, knowledge, consciousness, sense of responsibility. To me, the most important ingredient for a chef in the future is culture. Because culture help you to make visible the invisible for most of them. If you just, because culture stimulate knowledge and, develop things, ideas and things and technique. And then knowledge, consciousness of what you do and what you have done and how you have done it, how you have achieved it. So if you share all this with all your chefs, they keep listening to you and they connect with you. The first thing I do in the morning, I answer to Antonio in Tokyo and Davide in Seoul. They keep sending messages or ideas or tasting menu or how to do this, how to do that, and exactly as the service. And the last thing before the serving in the evening, I answer to Mattia in Los Angeles. So it's all about like that, It's very difficult, but as I said before, if you do it because you have chosen to do it, it's going to be very easy. It's about that,
I think you just offered us a real clear vision of how we should think about our staff going forward. Make them first. Put
But not
them
just
first.
think about yourself, Think about the others.
About the
So
others.
that's the point,
That's the hall pass.
It's the whole thing.
We're probably running low on time. Ben, what do we got? 2 minutes.
Look, my guys are just back from, like we were talking about you.
Coming up.
Come
Coming
here.
up. While they're coming up, Massimo.
Guy, Jess, Alan, Francisco.
While they're coming
Where
up.
is
Massimo, while they're coming up. Just quickly, can you tell the room, Refettorio Milan, tell us a little bit about it, and then we'll introduce the team.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Jessica, hi.
As soon as we have as partner Gucci, what I do, I said, hey guys, you have to open all your stores and, treat them in a perfect way. Look at this. For free. That's another point. For free.
So just quickly about the Refettorio, and then we'll
In
do an
a- in a-
intro,
in-
and then we're finito.
Jill, come here. She's always talking, come here. Come
And
here on stage.
Elizabeth, come on up.
Jill is our manager on Food for Soul because come close to me. She's very tough, and she's like I said
lei.
I want her. Jill, you have to talk. Yeah, but really, not as you usually do. Title, okay? Go. Explain the Refettorio in New York, what is going to be. Because we want you all involved in the place, because it's not my Refettorio, it's your Refettorio in New York.
Bravo.
Because in Rio de Janeiro, you have to see how now we have 14 refettorio all over the world, involving more than 100,000 people. It's already a movement, this kind of, Food for Soul. So Jill is going to explain what is going to be the refettorio in New York. That is a church in Harlem, 119th Street, a beautiful space with
Ma Massimo, ha detto di lei.
Okay.
Lascia.
Okay, hello everybody. The project is opening very soon, this spring on 119th Street. It's 37 West 119th Street at the Emmanuel AME Church. We are very proud to be at the home of one of the oldest historic African churches in Harlem. And as Massimo described to you, Food for Soul is very much about sustainability. It's about advocacy, building awareness, education, and sharing our knowledge. And this is an opportunity for us to be part of something very special. The traditions, the cultural traditions, the food traditions, the music, the history of Harlem. And to do that and bring to life in a space in which we can not only share those traditions, but we can also care for those who need us most. And so behind the mission of Food for Soul is very much about reducing food waste and thinking and putting our planet first. And it's also about recognizing the hunger and the poverty that exists and caring for our neighbors. And so this is Chef Elizabeth, who's been with us. We've actually done over 27,000 meals up in Harlem during the pandemic. We will, just in the tradition of every refectory around the world, be open daily, recovering food waste. Great partners like Baldor, who have been supporting us from the very start, recovering over 12,000 pounds of food, and turning those imperfect ingredients into nourishing meals that will serve families, children, youth, individuals who are experiencing isolation with dignity, with care, with beauty, and with love. And we need all of you. We need all of you to think about our planet. We need all of you to think about humanity. Okay. but
I thought she was shy.
I'm going to introduce you to, okay. Before, when you said how you involve, you spread seeds. And sometimes seeds start growing. I'm going to introduce you to Jessica, our chef at Casa Maria Luigia.
Wow.
And she's going to explain the new project that is being done in Modena. Okay? Jess, come.
When you go to Modena, you have to visit this place. It's fantastic. And maybe get a reservation. I don't know.
Yes, definitely. Hi, everybody. This is unexpected, but happy to be here. In March of 2020, myself and my very best friends founded the Association for the Integration of Women, which is a nonprofit organization that helps with the integration of young migrant women who are known right now as the most disadvantaged group of people in the entire European Union for a number of different factors, but mostly because of just being women. And just being, migrants. And so we try and create opportunities for them. One of those opportunities is our restaurant called Roots that we just opened a month ago. This is a nonprofit restaurant where we do training, culinary courses for migrant women. It's a 4-month program. We get them job placements at the end of their training. And we are open as a restaurant that serves menus inspired by where these women come from, because for us, integration is this two-way street where, yes, we're integrating them into the Italian workforce, but at the same time, we want to invite Italians into our place so we could celebrate where these women come from and hopefully create beautiful, diverse, and flourishing communities. And so that's what we're doing as well in Modena.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. And Massimo, could you just...
All this, we gave you already 2 different ways to think about the future and great project. But we also have another one called Tortellante, in which we put together grandmothers and young adults with different abilities. The 2 most marginalized part of the society. And, these 2 parts, now they are together, and we are doubling the space now because it's getting so successful. Because everybody wants the tortellini, the handmade egg pasta made one by hand. The grandmothers are incredible because they are rolling the pasta, cutting little squares, making the perfect secret pesto. And, these kids are amazing on repetitive things, and they make the most beautiful tortellini in the world. So you have amazing, ideas that you can get, and I'm spreading seeds, and probably some seeds arrive in the right place, and they're gonna help to create something beautiful here in New York. No? Right?
Massimo Bottura, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Guys.
Do we want to take photos with anybody from Baldor up here? We'll wait a few minutes. Thank you all for coming to this session. We're really grateful for your attention.
Alan is like our new sous chef at Osteria Francescana. And
Alan.
Francisco is the chef of Franceschetta.
Woo!
And Stephanie is the pastry at the Francescana.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you, Baldor.